We tend to think of music as a source of harmony, but the human brain has a strange obsession with chaos. Sometimes the sounds that make the least logical sense are the ones we find the most difficult to ignore. Large entertainment labels are increasingly engineering this auditory friction. They treat musical dissonance as a technical tool designed to manufacture engagement in an oversaturated market. To see how this works in practice, we can look at the June 2026 release of Tang, the second mini-album title track from the 8-member K-pop group Hearts2Hearts. This chart shows two completely different reactions happening at the exact same time. On one axis, critical scores are tanking, with reviewers calling the track a confusing hodgepodge. But on the other axis, album sales and streaming numbers are soaring straight up. The track sounded broken, but that was the point. This messy, polarizing structure provided the friction necessary to grab hold of the global charts and keep the audience listening. Before release, marketing for Tang suggested a standard summer pop anthem. Teasers were set on sun-drenched beaches and tranquil turquoise waters. But that idyllic imagery sat in direct opposition to the actual audio. The song was a collision of different tempos and genres that sounded nothing like a relaxing day on the coast. When fans finally hit play, the immediate reaction was sheer confusion. There was a sharp disconnect between the bright, pleasant visuals they were seeing and the jarring sounds hitting their ears. SM Entertainment was taking a specific corporate gamble. They built their comeback strategy around a lead single that sounded like 5 different songs crashing together in real time. By forcing the audience to grapple with what they were actually hearing, the label demonstrated that a divided, arguing audience drives more profit than a satisfied one. The architect of this specific collision is Kenzie, a veteran producer at SM Entertainment. She built the track around a concept called a pattern interrupt. Because the brain naturally tunes out repetitive information to save energy, a sudden, unexpected change in a sequence forces it to wake up and pay active attention. This dynamic waveform visualizes the track's erratic structure. You can see exactly where these interrupts happen: strange off-kilter beats, sharp tempo spikes, and unpredictable rap breaks. Encountering these jarring sections triggers a mild stress response. It mimics hearing a mistake, creating instant auditory friction. These sour musical moments are designed to create neurological tension. The friction makes it difficult for the listener to passively tune the song out. Auditory stress can't be sustained indefinitely. For this strategy to work, the brain eventually requires a release. In Tang, that release arrives as a sudden transition into a simple, high-pitched chorus that mimics a repetitive nursery rhyme. This flowchart maps the transition. Cognitive tension builds during erratic verses, followed by a massive dopamine spike when the familiar chorus hits. This recognizable pattern is intensely pleasurable. The reward is so strong, the brain subconsciously seeks out that tension again, looping the cycle. That cycle translates directly into record-breaking streaming numbers. Listeners hit replay over and over, essentially chasing that specific moment of cognitive relief. Tang succeeds precisely because its broken structure generates a repeatable cycle of tension and reward. Once the initial wave of online confusion subsided, that repetitive cycle produced undeniable real-world dominance. The financial results were immediate. Hearts2Hearts secured massive stadium tours, skyrocketing physical album sales, and major fashion brand ambassadorships with Converse and Calvin Klein. If SM Entertainment had released a perfectly pleasant, conventional summer track, it likely would have been enjoyed briefly and then forgotten. A polarizing song forces cultural conversation. Critics and confused listeners alike took to the internet to figure out what they heard, becoming unpaid, effective marketers. In an oversaturated market, being conventionally good is a liability. You blend in, but being scientifically chaotic is an asset. Hearts2Hearts demonstrates the effectiveness of this strategy. By breaking the conventional rules of pop music, they've turned auditory discomfort into a repeatable commercial machine.